Hey guys, Doyle here with Doyle's Basement Records. How's everyone doing in the VC community? I'm doing great. This is gonna be an episode. I'm kind of giving you the scoop of what it's like to sell your records to an actual record store. Before we get started, I want you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please leave me a comment in that comment section. Let me know if I suck, if I'm doing all right. And remember, guys, I don't have any editing or anything like this. This is just me winging it off the top of my head and going from there. So if you're looking for perfection, so it might not be for you. But all right, let's get started in this. So, selling records to a record store. I'm going to talk about different type of people who come in and sell records. There's a lot of people who are cleaning houses, storage units, and they find records and they just come right in and say, like, they don't like. Okay, so we'll take your records. We'll look on them through Discogs, kind of, or not all the time, like every single record, of course. We'll look through it real quick and give it a go from there and kind of tell you either we're going to give you cash or trade credits. And I always tell people, I mean, you're not going to get rich off this. Most records people have or are selling to us, I mean, aren't that great. I mean, a lot of people think, just because you got a Beatles album, it's like, oh my God, it's worth so much money. No, majority of Beatles albums aren't worth anything really, unless you got those certain rare pressings. It's all about the pressings. I can't tell you how many times people think like, "Oh, I got a bunch of old Beatles albums." Well, okay, they very well could be worth some money, and most 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna be worth shit really. Um, but anyways, going back to people who bring in records, like I said, a lot of people or finding collections from their parents, grandparents, whatnot, unfortunately passing away, or people are just finding them and then quickly sell them to us. We always try to look through them all. Man, some people like, dude, just give me $30 for like a whole stack of records and I'm gone. There was one I remember. God, I probably bought like 75 records from this guy, but he was like. I don't got time. A lot of people say they don't got time to wait. I just want money right now. Anyway, I have like $25. I'm like, and then we look. Then we start going through Discogs. That's how we know how to price things. And man, if the guy kind of would have waited and let me actually look through them like all better, he would have gotten more money. But he wanted it right then and right then. Right then and right now, I should say. And there was quite a few like pretty deep, rare pressings, but you knew the guy. Like you could tell the guy wasn't a record collector or anything. And like I said, I see so many workers coming in just like all you can tell they worked hard, so they're all dirty and then they're just selling these records just to get rid of them. I see that a lot. Excuse me. Yeah, and then and I always tell people, like I said, you're not gonna get rich doing it. You're lucky to get like 35 cents to the dollar worth of a record. I mean, and it. I always tell people, look at a lot of our used records. There's a lot of stuff for like $3, even less than that. And a lot of this stuff, I mean, even some records are just absolutely worthless. Like they're not even worth $1. And some of these big collections that we buy, we'll get these. We'll actually tell you the records that we want, and these are the records I don't even want because I can't do nothing with them. But sometimes even when we buy the records, they're like, we'll still just take it, and then we'll put a sign free and put those records there. It's always either real beat up records or just people I've never even heard of before, and just aren't worth anything, and it's not worth putting it on our shelf, keeping up space. And that's another thing. Some people get upset, and I always like, well, then sell them on Discogs. You're gonna make more money, but people want the money right now. And then I will tell them the price. Like, wow, you're really trying to lowball me. It's like going to a pawn shop. Literally, like if you've seen Pawn Stars, like, well, I'd like 10 grand. The guy says he wants 10 grand. Rick's like, or no, the guy says it's probably worth 10 grand. Rick's like, I'll give you 3. That's how it is. Like through GameStop, vintage stocks, half price bookstores, the places around here that you can sell stuff to, you're never gonna get your full amount. You're probably gonna get 25 to 30% what that is because you don't know when that record is gonna sell. Even if it's a real rare record, I bought it like if shoot, let's say you're selling a $250 record. I don't know when I'm gonna sell that record. Certain presses and certain bands, yes, I do know like it's not gonna stay long on that shelf. But man, we've had some $100 records I've seen in the shop since I've been there for 4 years. A Jerry Lee Lewis, off the top of my head, there's $100 record. It's been there for years. Some we got some real nice pressings of Van Halen. Man, they didn't last a week. Some OG pressings, those sold like that. Like I said, so you're not gonna get a crazy amount of money. Like I said, man, out of that, you're gonna get like your maybe 25 to 35% of what they're actually worth. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Because you're buying shelf space. I don't know when I'm gonna sell that. Another good example. We bought a pretty big collection maybe 4 months ago. I think it was almost 3,000 records. And the guy went all over to all the other record shops in Kansas City. Yes, I work in Kansas City, 7th Heaven, aka the Vinyl Underground of 76th and Troost. We gave him $4,000 for his record collection. Everyone else offered like 25 to $3,000. We were $1,000 over what everyone else offered. The guy had a massive collection, and he had some really good ones. Those Van Halen ones came from him. And then there were some real rare Grateful Dead ones, which I had to get myself. And then he had a lot of just rock and roll, like a bunch of like Eagles, Jackson Browne, Boston, Kansas, and all the Joe Walsh. You know, just stuff like that. Had a bunch of Ozzy's, Dio, Grateful Dead, Van Halen, just stuff like in that category. Motley Crue, just as I keep going. And some of them, yes, were rare pressings. But, you know, and unfortunately, some of them probably didn't even know. Because I don't think he had anything on Discogs. And when we, you know, took a while to look every single record up, but that's what we did. And we tagged them. And we made good amount of money on it. But, you know, $4,000, I think that was a pretty good deal. I mean, I know it's not what you get or put into your records, unfortunately, but that's just how it is. Especially if you want money right now, it's $4,000 cash money. You know, you're never gonna get back what you paid for on majority stuff, unless I'll tell people, like I said earlier, I'll tell people if you want to. It might take a little bit longer time, but if you go through Discogs, that's the best way to get your money. But you know, like I was saying, people want it right now. So that's kind of how it is. You're never going to get what you really want, just like in a pawn shop or anything else. We'll always offer cash, and then, of course, something will be a little bit higher. So let's say I offered you $35 in cash, and then you can get trade credits for $35. I'd probably $48, let's say. You know, so you get a little bit more depending on what you choose. Most people pick cash because, like I said, most people aren't really into the records, or they're literally just buying it to get a few of them will come in who are actually are record collectors just to get more trade credits to records they haven't listened to. But I feel like, sorry, my kids are laughing up there. I feel like 7 out of 10 of the people who come in selling records aren't record collectors. They find them, inherit them, or God knows what they did, how to get them or whatnot. And that's kind of how it is. So that's that's kind of what it's like. I wanted you guys to get the behind the scenes of what it's like to sell your records to a record store shop. Please leave me a comment. I'm sure other people had questions about this, so please let me know, guys. I will answer them. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. So everyone, hope had a terrific Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you believe in, I support. But that's probably going to be it for me tonight. Always on this video. So have a good one, guys.